Alright, welcome back to the channel. This is another What Sold on eBay video. This is for February 8th through the 14th. This 7-day period, a little bit better than the last one. Up, it says 15% there. Not amazing, but an increase is an increase is an increase. I'll take it. So here are 10 items that I have culled from the list of things that were sold this week that I found interesting, and maybe you will learn something here and find something that you weren't aware of beforehand. So let's get started. So this one, it's not necessarily a BOLO because I think these are pretty hard to find. In fact, this may have been a release that was released through the Nike Sneakers app. It's SNKRS, that app. If you don't have that app, download it. They do some exclusive shoe drops that you can only get through that app. And then, of course, you know, if the shoe is popular enough, hits the resale market on places like StockX, you can find these shoes on eBay as well, obviously. And they sell for a large markup if there's enough demand there. So anyway, this was in a Goodwill, and I paid up for these shoes. I paid $24.99 because after running the comp sales, I could tell that these were selling regularly in the $150 range or somewhere around that. Now, a size 8 men's, not the greatest size, so I felt like I may have been waiting a little bit longer, but the buyer ended up paying for these $127.49. I sent them an offer. If I had held out a little bit longer, I probably could have gotten full price, but $127 over the $25 that I spent, I was happy with that. $9.90 to have it shipped, and then $6.76 in tax. So the buyer is $144.15 all in, which is pretty good for a $24.99 spend. Lesson here is don't be afraid to spend up for a shoe that you're pretty confident will sell. You can tell the condition of the shoes were really good. And let me get you a picture of the soles here. Soles in great shape. I mean, they almost look like moon boots, don't they? Like just a weird looking Flyknit style, but yeah, it's popular, and they are gone, which is the most important thing. So good sale there. This is another Goodwill find here. Dukes of Hazzard, like talk about a huge part of my childhood. Between the Dukes of Hazzard car and the Knight Rider car kit, I mean, yeah, my heart was full when I was little. Those were two of my favorites. So this thing was pretty cool. Remote control car, plugged in batteries, it worked perfect. I paid $3.99. There was a $3.99 sticker on the box. Original box from, I believe it says right there, 1980, and worked forward, backward, worked excellent. I priced it high. The comparable sales were a lot lower than this, and there were others that were in similar condition, had the remote, had the car, and I believe they even had the original box kind of like this, but I shoot high, and I'm glad I did. The buyer ended up taking an offer that I sent them of $125, and they paid $12.55 to have it shipped. So they're $137.55 all in, and I spent $3.99 on the item. Really cool item, and of course I always take video of the thing working in my, wherever it is I'm doing the video, just to ensure that the thing works. And you take video just so you're covered in the event, heaven forbid, a buyer try to pull a fast one on you. That does not happen often, but it'll happen. So you gotta be kind of careful about that. But nice clean battery compartment on this. Great sale. Somebody's gonna love it. So this next one, this is a classic case of me walking into the thrift store, seeing an item and saying to myself, oh, that looks interesting. I've never seen that before. Oh, it's for pizza. I like pizza. Better get my phone out. And sure enough, these are really hard to find. And the sell-through rate is incredible when they do turn up. Again, on this one, I had it listed at $54.99, not including shipping. I could have gotten $54.99 for the item. They're not that many of them on the market. But I sent someone an offer and they took it $50, $20.40 to have the thing shipped, and then $6.07 in tax for a total of $76.47 all in for a very cool pizza warmer maker. This is like, I don't know so much about camping, but this was like a sell similar, so I was using a lot of the same title that I saw someone else use. The dorm room aspect is kind of cool, and just a neat item. Let me show you the interior here. It wasn't like absolutely pristine. You could see it was clearly used, but the plate was clean. I wiped it down a little bit. Interior looked fine, no crumbs, nothing like that. It looked like it had been, dropped or damaged in any way. All the corners looked good. So Easy sale for me. For this one, I paid $5.99 for this item. So this was a pretty good sale. Keep your eye out for Cuisin. I don't know how you pronounce that, but the pizza box. When you see the chef on the top, you know you've got a BOLO on your hands. So I'm pleased about that sale. All right, this one. If you watch some of my other videos, so it was thrift run, where I went into the stores and did a little videoing. This was one of the items that I find. I will actually link that video in the description. But this sold quick. Within a week or two of me getting it listed, I knew it when I saw it. It was like as good as sold. I think I even used those exact words in the other video. And it sold for full price, $59.99. $12.55 to have it shipped for a total of $72.54 all in. I think I paid $6.99 for this, but Carhartt, Sherpa lined, good condition. This was a no-brainer. Always look up Carhartt. Even even the stuff that's pink. I had mentioned that I'd sold one of these similar like that in a navy blue color beforehand, so I kind of knew that this would do well, and I always run the comps regardless. It's not one of those things that you throw in the cart and you don't even really have to look. I encourage you to look, but this was clearly a no-brainer. So Carhartt, always keep your eyes open for them. All right, this next one is kind of funny because it's from the movie Caddyshack, and it like sitting in the plush toy aisle, probably pretty easy to pass this up, but the sell-through rate for this thing is like incredible. It's hilarious. So it sings the I forget what the song is that it plays. When did I put it in the description down here? Yeah, it sings "I'm All Right." Super funny, dances, moves around. This was a $2.99 find, and it sold probably within 3 or 4 days of me listing it for full price, $34.99, $12.55 to have it shipped, and $47.54 all in. And again, I paid $2.99 for it. I'm looking at the Carhartt. I wonder if I quoted the price correctly. $72.54 is what the buyer was all in for the Carhartt, if I did not. But anyway, this was in excellent condition. I always show the battery compartment for corrosion, just to make sure that the buyer is confident that the thing that they're buying is in really good shape. The tag was kind of cut here too, but you can clearly see it says Gemmy, Gemmy, Gemmy on the tag there, so no problems there. Sold quickly, good BOLO. Okay, bags. I don't usually pick up bags. This was a really nice looking Michael Kors bag. So once I was able to find the style name for the bag, Fulton, you could tell it was a BOLO because they sell really, really well. For the price point I used here, again, I shot high, $89.99, held my ground, and it eventually sold. I think this thing had 9 or 10 watchers before it sold. It took maybe a month or two for it to sell, and I thought, I took decent enough pictures of the exterior and the interior. No major flaws on it. Really good exterior and interior condition combined. And it sold for full price, $89.99, $16.90 shipping, and $7.54 in tax. Man, that tax is a killer these days. So $114.43. The buyer is all in. I'm pretty sure I paid $5.99, either $5.99 or $4.99 for this bag. So this was a really, really good flip. CrossFit, Reebok. These ones I held on to for a couple of months, and I don't think I lowered the price at all. I kept strong at $29.99. This is the CrossFit Nano 3.0 pink, a very good size for women, size 8. The shoes were in decent enough condition, and they show a little bit of wear. The laces are, show a little bit worn. Soles were great though. It's usually the most important thing here. Insoles were in really good condition as well for the most part, and buyer ended up paying $29.99, $9.90 to have it shipped, and then $1.80 in tax. So they are $41.99 all in, and in my area, at least in the major thrift stores that I go to, I usually pay around $3.99, in between $3.99 and $4.99 for shoes. So these were $4.29. Okay, this is kind of a funny one. So Build-A-Bear plush, I've talked about this in videos before on when you want to pad your margins. Plush are a great way to do that, especially if you can get them listed quickly. This was a Build-A-Bear that was really colorful. She had a Build-A-Bear outfit, so it's always an upcharge when you add an outfit when you go to Build-A-Bear, and you add sound when you go to Build-A-Bear. So it makes these things like $50, $60, $70, and it's outrageous the amount of money people will pay for a doll that you might play with for a week. So this one had an outfit and it had sound, but the sound was just a bunch of kids that were like probably in the store saying "Happy Birthday, Abby." So it's like you hear a crowd of like 6, 7 kids saying this, and I was like on the fence about buying that, but I thought, you know what, someone will end up buying this thing anyway. Because again, who wants to pay 60 when you can pay 18? So I sent an offer to a buyer, and they took an offer of $15.29. They paid $9 to have it shipped, and $1.46 in tax. So $25.75, and they are all in, and I only paid $1 for the item. So it was a smart move. I held on to this for a month or two, and it's like one of those things, you just list it and you forget about it, and when it sells, it sells. So that's a pretty good return, and I think a fair price, even though the kids all say "Happy Birthday, Abby." Hey, maybe it was, and a mom has an Abby, and that the mom bought it for an Abby. That'd be wonderful. Who knows? Anyway, Bolo, plush, margins, you know the drill. This plush, I thought would be 99 cents. It had a $4.99 tag on it in the store, and I didn't see it at the time. I was still okay with it because this is a Star Wars Yoda backpack buddy. I forget what the name of the brand was on the tag, because the tag was, actually the tag's right there. Let me see if I can zoom in and see who the brand was. Comic Images. I know it's upside down, but right there. Comic Images is the brand here. And this one was not in perfect condition. As you can see, like the interior backpack portion, the seams were torn. So you could still fill it, but they're not easy to find. And I believe because of that, they are priced higher. So I had this listed at $29.99. Maybe if it was in better shape, I could have gotten a little bit of a higher price, but I was just sort of guessing at $29.99, and the buyer paid full price. And I think this one is going into the global shipping program. So they paid $8.25 to have it shipped, $38.24 all in. And like I said, I paid $4.99 for him. So if you ever see Yoda and he just looks kind of old, especially now with Baby Yoda and like how crazy the Baby Yoda stuff is for Star Wars, you would think that like older Yoda would be taking a little bit of a backseat, but this particular item was really, really popular. So if you ever see this like old cranky looking Yoda in the stores, get your phone out. Okay, last one. So anytime you see like Japanese titles for video games, it's likely that they are obscure. So scan the game. This was listed, or this was in a Goodwill stacked with about 3 or 4 other games, and I ended up getting all of them. At the same time, I learned something when I was in this store, because I had a big box of Mega Blocks that if you scanned it and you saw the comparable other listings for this particular Mega Blocks box, it was like in the $300, $400, $500 range. Now, the contents inside did not match the exterior box, but when the manager saw the box in my cart, she like came flying over, and she was like, "Oh, someone's gonna get in trouble." And I was like, "Whoa, what did I do?" And she was like, "No, we just have a policy. We're not supposed to put any Legos out on the floor. That all goes to Shop Goodwill." And I was like, "All right, well, that's a wonderful way to alienate your regular customers, for crying out loud." But that's an argument for another day. So they, along with this, she actually ended up giving me a couple of dollars off, because I was trying to explain to her. I'm like, "Listen," because she looked it up on her phone too, and I'm like, asking prices and selling prices are 2 different things. There were no comparable sales for that Mega Blocks thing. And, I could ask $2 million for my house, but if it's only worth $300,000, no one's going to pay $2 million. So, get that through your thick skull, please. But she ended up giving me a couple dollars off because it was missing in, a ton of pieces. And so I was really just going to make that purchase for part out value. But the same person that was in the back pricing the Legos missed these games too. So they just quick sticker got them out on the floor. So I have a feeling that if they had been doing their homework back there, because again, if you're in a Goodwill, Goodwill is your biggest competitor. They're pushing all of the valuable stuff to Shop Goodwill. So you really have to have a trained eye to sustain a reselling business when you're shopping in those particular locations. But the Japanese titles, scan them. I got 3 or 4 of them in a lot, and they were all like, I think they were $1.99 in this location, $1.99 to $2.99 at the most, because they have since raised their prices on like digital media. Xenosaga Episode 3, who knows? I can't pronounce it. Don't care. It was complete. The comparable sales were excellent. This thing sold for full price very quickly, $79.99. Buyer paid $3.99 to have it shipped, and like I said, I was at a max of $2.99 all in. So anytime you see like these obscure Japanese titles for PlayStation games, Xbox games, do a double take, because some of them are worth a lot of money. They're rare titles and they're hard to find. This, I have since sold maybe one or two more of the other titles that you'll probably see in another video, but great sale, can't complain. All right, that's it. If you liked, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know that you're liking what you see. And I thank you for your time. We'll see you in the next video.